I'm very pleased to have with us on this segment of the show Joan Cuthbert from Emerald Meats. And Joan, we have you here because you're a great Chamber member business, but also this year the Chamber recognized Emerald Meats as the Joe Cohen Retailer of the Year in recognition of the great service, the great business that you and your husband have built. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Joan, we were kind of chatting off the show and joking because our next guest is also from Ireland. We'll call it the Irish Hour. Sean Hastings would be proud. But you know, you and your husband started this business, but you came to Worcester, and you know, maybe take for our viewers a few moments on how you arrived in Worcester, the two of you.
Okay. Well, I mean, when we decided to come to America, we had to decide which city we were going to go to. So actually our local priest had recommended coming to Boston. He'd said, you know, that's where all the Irish are. Stick to people you might, you know, have something in common with. So we decided Boston, and we didn't know anybody over in the States at all. So we're just going to come over, get an apartment and a job. That was our big plan. But actually, a friend of a friend knew somebody who lived in Worcester. He said he lived outside of Boston, so we thought like around the corner, you know, like in Ireland, outside is like 5 minutes. So we said, you know, he called the guy, said, would you like a roommate? Didn't even know us. He recommended us, said we were good people. So we came to Worcester, thinking it was Boston. A long drive. But when we got here, we just loved Worcester. You know, we drove through Boston, we were like, oh, it's a nice city. But when we got to Worcester, we just thought it was gorgeous. So,
a great feel, and that sense of time and distance between Worcester and Boston is shrinking every day. But so your husband, a butcher by trade, went to work locally. You up to O'Connor's. But at some point, you made the decision. You know, you were going to start your own business, and that's a courageous decision. What led to that, and what was that experience like?
You know, it's funny because. You know, Robert trained as a butcher in Ireland, and he worked in area butcher shops, and you know, all of his customers loved him. You know, they're all saying, you know, you're a great butcher. Whenever he would move to a different butcher shop, he would have customers follow him to the different business. But he ended up working in one of the supermarkets, and they were actually downsizing in the meat departments. So we were fearful for his job. And then we also had friends who would say to us, you know, Robert's a great butcher, why don't you guys open a butcher shop? There's not enough in Worcester. So we're thinking, you know, it's a great idea. Why don't we do it? So we just decided, first of all, okay, let's do it. And then we just spent actually a year looking for a great location. You know, like the location was the most important thing. And then we did find the location.
On Chandler Street.
Because we actually lived across the street from, it was George's Fruit. We lived on Deerfield Street. I used to shop there, and then they closed sadly, but we always loved that location. So when they closed, we went in, spoke to them, and then we rented, and then we ended up buying the building off them. And how many years now have you been operating in that location? So 12 years, So, I mean, you know, it was a terrifying move, you know, because you have 3 small children. Our kids were 2, 6, and 9 at the time. We had a couple of 3-deckers. We sold those to use that money to invest in the business, so pretty much our life savings. We were kind of absolutely terrified in one part, but it was something we had to do, and there was no failing. That just was not an option for us. We're going to do this, we're going to make it work. I mean, for a second here and there, we'd say, what did we do? Why did we do this? Are we crazy? But it was just like the decision to come to America. You know, you're over here and you're like, oh gosh, we're here, what are we doing here? But we decided to do it. We thought it was going to be a great move for us, and we just kept going forward and we never looked back.
You know, one of the things and why you were recognized, you know, Joe Cohen was a legendary business leader in this community, engaged and active, and you know, Joe, customer service friendly, just kind of the personification, worked to help mentor other businesses with the Small Business Administration. But one thing you notice from the moment you walk into Emerald Meats, not only do you get first quality, you know, top quality product, but your customer service, and I think that clearly starts with you, Joan, and your husband, Robert, but just your staff, young people that you've trained and worked. I mean, how does that happen? And you know, what training do you or is it on the job?
Well, you know, we look for our staff, we look for a certain type of person to work there, somebody that we know we can work with. And then we just explain to them why they do things. Just walk in and say hello to a person, and I explain. It's like if somebody comes into your home, you're happy to see them. Or, you welcome them. You say hi, welcome, smile, and they feel comfortable. I tell my staff that's how we want our customers to feel. Sometimes people are nervous walking into a store, especially when you see 5 or 6 young boys staring at you. You don't know what to do. So they just make them feel comfortable when they walk in the door. And then I tell them it doesn't hurt to be friendly. I said, if you smile at the customer, they'll smile back at you. But even if they don't, they feel comfortable.
Right.
It's all about making the customer feel comfortable. And then when the kids do it, they actually enjoy doing it. They say it makes their job easier. If someone comes in and they look indifferent, by the time they leave, they're smiling, they're happy, they want to come back.
Right, right. And in addition to the customer service, the great product line. So, for our viewers who maybe under a rock and don't know where Emerald Meats is or haven't visited, you provide a whole array of things in addition to top quality meats.
We do. I mean, we have our website is emeraldmeats.com. We're on Facebook. We do steaks. We slice steaks fresh to order, chops, fresh ground meats all day. We do ground lamb, ground beef, marinated meats. Everything can be done plain also. Fresh chicken, whole chickens, lamb chops, pretty much everything like a standard.
Kebabs.
Kebabs, yes. A big seller is our kebabs, and our marinated steak tips, our peppered steaks. Our seasonings are very popular also.
But, but we've sandwich meats too, and my wife stops in regularly to make lunch for the girls.
Well, we do Boar's Head. We love Boar's Head. It's a premium deli line, and we do the Irish products as well, like the Irish breakfast, sausages, rashers, black and white pudding, the Irish sweets, candy, chips, and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the Chandler Street corridor is a pretty important and a business venue, and certainly you've added a vibrancy to that. 347 Chandler Street, between we would say June Street and Park Ave, and encourage people to go online, emeraldmeats.com.
Yes.
And I want to thank you and Robert for your involvement with the Chamber, but for the first-class service that you provide the region.
Thanks very much, Tim.